Okay, this week in movies is all about star power. We've got movies featuring Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, and Anne Hathaway. Rad, our film critic, is joining us with the full scoop. These are huge movies this week.
These are huge movies, and if you're a Devil Wears Prada fan, I mean, you got an Anne Hathaway movie and an Emily Blunt movie.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
The Prada girls, let's go.
Oh, right, let's go. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt were in Oppenheimer together.
Well, no, they were Barbenheimer. They were the
right.
Barbenheimer opposition. That's right, yeah.
And now they're teaming up for Fall Guy. Let's take a look at the trailer.
That's me, Colt Sievers. And this is my hero's journey.
Can we just start from the top?
The hero of the story.
Okay, I am obsessed with both these people. How is this movie? What'd you think?
Look, I mean, anytime a movie has my kids hysterically rolling in the aisles,
oh, nice.
That's the litmus test. You know you got a hit. Lots of people having fun. I did have my reservations about this movie. None of those reservations have anything to do with Ryan Gosling, who is absolutely bringing the Kenergy here.
Nice.
You know, he's once again playing a guy who is doting over a strong female figure. This one played by Emily Blunt. He's the stunt guy. She's the film director. This is an adaptation of an 80s series about a stunt guy who moonlights as a bounty hunter. So the plot here is about him trying to find her missing star. But who cares about plot? Because this is all really silly, goofy. Like, the plot is a mess in a very likable, forgivable way. I did hear of, like, after seeing the movie, about a joke here that references Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's relationship that people are offended by. It went over my head, but that's the kind of thing where it's like, I wouldn't put it past this movie because to put in that kind of crass joke, because it's a movie that, you know, it's very unserious, throws everything at the screen, every gag, every flying body, because it's a movie about stunt people, and some of it lands spectacularly.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's up my alley, but who is this for?
I mean, this is for people who love movies like Date Night and Man from U.N.C.L.E. If you want good popcorn fun, it delivers that.
Okay, let's talk about the idea of You. It's a rom-com.
Yes.
And who's in it?
Anne Hathaway. My queen.
Yes,
Anne
I
Hathaway.
had no idea you were so obsessed with Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, look, I mean, anyone who doesn't who would argue with me that Anne Hathaway is not one of the greatest actresses, performances, personalities of our time,
So funny.
you got a fight coming.
Okay, so what's this one about?
I mean, look, it's a rom-com. It will satisfy the people who are the fans of the gushiest rom-coms, which you know I am. But I think this movie actually hits on a harder level. It's about a May-December relationship, a sort of fantasy May-December relationship where she's a 40-year-old mom. He's a Harry stylish. I don't even know how to say Harry Styles' name. He's like the leader of a boy band of that type, right?
Oh, funny.
And so you got that fantasy. It's actually an adaptation of a very sexy novel. I'm talking about 50 Shades Sexy.
Oh, wow.
Written by Robin Lee. Interesting thing here, Robin Lee is a Black author who actually wrote a novel about white characters because she couldn't find Black characters. She couldn't market a novel about Black characters. So there's an interesting, I think that informs the interesting dichotomy and conversation this movie's actually having. There's a conversation about, you know, personalized individual art versus content made for the masses, which is, I think, something that Robin Lee had to write. And this movie actually acknowledges that. When you look at this, when the relationship in the movie, you got Anne Hathaway playing an art dealer who sells individualized art. You have a boy band who makes mass consumption and kills his own personality.
That's interesting.
And even their relationship goes from genuine romance to tabloid fare. So, and it's also very interesting that they're having this conversation when this movie is playing on Amazon Prime, where, you know, individualized art becomes grist for the content mill. So I think I think this movie is self-critical in a way that made me love it more.
I like that analysis.
Yeah.
So who's this one for?
I mean, look, if you love rom-coms like The F Word and Home Again, F Word, by the way, is the Canadian title of a movie that was renamed What If. But that's like a gamut of rom-coms. That idea of You falls in between.
Okay, you mentioned Johnny Depp. He's making a comeback on the big screen in a French movie? Yeah,
a French movie, Jeanne. This is a comeback after his trial over, like, you know, alleged allegations of domestic abuse. And in here he's playing a King Louis, who is in who has a relationship with Jeanne Dubarry, which is scandalized. They become scorned by all of France, and that I think is, you know, the movie conflates his personality. I think his casting in this movie is very intentional for that conflation, but it's also a really dull movie.
It's a dull movie.
Yeah.
It looks like a big movie. A lot of money went into this one. Brad, quickly, who's this for?
I mean, this is for people who love, like, their dull kind of costume dramas, like The Duchess and The Royal Affair. If you want that with a side of scandal.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. All right, Brad, always good to see you. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Coming up, everybody, Alberta, you're finally going to get a reprieve from that spring snow, but it might still be a little bit wet. Winston has your full national forecast coming up next. Bye.